Warning: the Speedgolf Baby audio experience contains radical ideas about how fast you can play golf and how good you can feel while you do it. If that's not your thing, there are 1,000 golf podcasts you can listen to instead. And now, Speedgolf Baby, let's go. I'm Adam Lorton, executive producer of Speedgolf Baby, and welcome to the Speedgolf Baby audio experience, where we're all about speed golf, the faster, fitter variant of the beautiful game of golf. Whether you play in the rain or you wait for the sun to shine, please subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to. Please rate and review us. It's a par 5 for Speedgolf Baby. 5 stars, please. Remember to subscribe to the Speedgolf Baby YouTube channel because that's where the magic happens. And finally, if you're speed golf curious, get the Speed Golf Starter Pack for free over at speedgolf.baby/start. Last time on the Speedgolf Baby audio experience, you heard our Missouri Speed Golf Open broadcast audio. This time, you'll be hearing the audio from our new U.S. Speed Golf Open official film, 54 holes in 22 hours. Now, I strongly recommend watching this one on YouTube because that's where the magic happens. And if you do watch it on YouTube, please leave us a comment. This is the first time we've done this format, and I'm sure you have at least one idea for how we could make it better next time. And now, the U.S. Open official film.
The 8th United States Speed Golf Open.
Here in Rome and New Hartford, New York.
54 holes over a couple days.
3 rounds, 24 hours. It was a brute.
US Open 2024 Rome. A lot of fondness for Rome. I'll be back to Rome.
We made history. The first ever 54-hole championship took place in about a 22-hour period. And for a minute there, it probably wasn't going to happen.
US Open 2024. What an experience it was, and I somehow managed to win it.
Speed Golf Baby, let's go. Welcome to the 2024 U.S. Speed Golf Open official film. Elite speed golfers traveled from Japan, England, Canada, and across the U.S. to compete for $8,000 in prizes, and more importantly, the title of U.S. Open champion. By the way, if you're new to speed golf, here's what you need to know. Speed golf is the faster, fitter variant of the beautiful game of golf. A golfer's speed golf score is how many strokes plus how many minutes. So for example, if a player shoots 75 and they finish their round in 50 minutes, their speed golf score is 125. Traditionally, a major speed golf tournament is 36 holes, 2 rounds over 2 days. But not this time.
Yeah, 54 holes in 22 hours. A new format for us, and I think a great format. I was actually chatting with my brother, and he always thought it would make sense to have 2 rounds in one day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So I proposed it to Scott. He said, let's give it a go, and there we went.
Right after the U.S. Open concluded last year at Oldham County Country Club, I got a call from Wes and Lauren. They said, hey, we'd be interested in hosting the U.S. Open again if you don't already have a venue. It was about a week later that Wes got in touch with me and said, hey, listen, I'm really thinking about doing something different. What do you think if we host a 54-hole championship, the first one to ever take place in the world of speed golf, that is? You know me, I want to be at the forefront. I want to be trying new things. I think it's important for this sport. The U.S. Open, traditionally speaking, is the hardest test in golf. So we wanted to put together an event in 2024 that would be the hardest in speed golf. Let me tell you something, it was.
It took a bit of a time getting out through New York City, and I remember I was beginning to think, gosh, what on earth have I got myself into? But then the beauty of New York State just unraveled in front of me, and I saw this golf course. I was driving up and over the hills and then checking out these greens, which were just fabulous. Hills and steps, and well, over here we'd say that they were like billiard tables. They were fast and they were firm. They were like concrete. It actually kind of reminded me of like an inland links. Very severe, very unique place.
The first course we played was unfamiliar, which was challenging because some of the greens were very undulating, and we usually didn't play that fast of a green.
We played Tujica in the past, which is a lovely Donald Ross course. This year we mixed in Yanadassis Golf Club in nearby New Hartford. That's a original Walter Travis design. A lot of tricky greens, a lot of stuff around the greens. Yanni just is a little bit tougher. I think it's longer. It's just a little bit more of a grind. And boy, was it for round one. It was hot. It was humid, and it's odd that every time Speedgolf comes around to our place in the world, it's either rainy or extremely hot.
Yanadasi has a ton of elevation gain. It is a private club that is immaculate. The weekend we were there, they were hosting the men's club championships. You can imagine how pristine the course was. The greens were like ice, and the fairways were beautifully clean.
Yanadasi. Apparently, a word that means around a hill. And I have issue with that because I pretty vividly remember running up and down hills, not around the hill. I would have loved to go around the hill.
First 6 holes at the Yanni are downhill. You're a couple hundred feet downhill from the clubhouse without really realizing it. So the first 6 holes, you're usually like, wow, I feel good. This is going well. And then you run up to 7, which is a miserable run from 6th green to 7 tee. And then 9, I call the toothache hole. It's just miserable, completely uphill the entire time, a par 5. Like a toothache, you know you'll get through it, but it's annoying and painful the entire time.
Day 1, very leisurely wake up. We didn't actually start until about 4 p.m. So teed off at 4 p.m. at Yanadasi. It was hot. I tell you, I was sweating. And the sun was directly over the top of us. And quite frankly, I remember thinking, sure, someone's going to pull out with heat stroke or something else.
After making the long trip from Japan to America, I never felt quite right. I was sleeping a lot and just wasn't in great shape, but I still thought I could make it work. But then when I teed off for that first round at Yanadasi in the extreme heat, well, my body did not respond the way I wanted it to. I thought of my injury, I thought of the World Championships coming up, and I decided that the right decision was to set a good example and withdraw from the tournament. It was a very hard decision, but I stand by it.
Just minutes before I teed off, I see Jin Oda walking in looking like he just got hit by a train. And I'm like, what in the world am I in for? What happened out there? So I go out there, do my best, start to make the turn, and I'm thinking I may back out. I may drop out of this. But I see another competitor ahead of me on the ground getting ice and water on the 10th tee. This is rare. This is unheard of. And I'm thinking, you know what? That's 2 people down right now. If I just stick this whole thing out, maybe I have a chance.
So it's a tough run. And it's a tough golf course. You have to drive it in the right spots. There's fescue if you start going off the fairways. So you could easily get in trouble. My goal going into the first round at Yanadasi was to keep it in the fairway, minimize mistakes, and then run within myself. There would be 2 more rounds after that, so I didn't want to push it too hard. So I did that. I drove it well. I hit my irons really well. I made good decisions when I was out of position. And I put up a good score.
I hit it pretty well in the front, had a few 3 putts, which is expected. That happens in regular golf. That really happens in speed golf. It's just so hard to do those fine motor skills with your heart beating through your chest and sweat dripping off your nose.
Over to West Cup on the par 4 9th. Got this downhill par putt. He calls this hole the toothache. Points the finger, drops it for a par. That's a 40 in just over 25 minutes here at the Yanni.
But I was okay. I was just a few over through 15. And then I went double, single to finish the round.
West Cup bogey putt after that penalty drop at the par 4 17th. He could really use this one. Oh my gosh, it just burned the edge. Double bogey on the 17th for West Cup, and he looks like he's hurting.
5 over the last 3 to, well, limp into the clubhouse. It kind of felt like that physically too, as I gave 5 back to the course there the last 3 holes.
And I think to the main part, everyone did finish. There was one person who sadly had to pull out, but the field did get through it. And there were some incredible scores. It was a tough golf course. But the lowest score on the day was actually a 69. I was a little bit off the pace. I was 4 off the pace on day 1 from Gadget.
It was a test. It was tough. Beautiful course, wonderful hospitality, but it was tough.
It was nice to have that first round lead. It's always nice to have a lead, right? So everyone, is having to chase you, and you can be more conservative.
Day 2, U.S. Open. back at Rome Country Club. We got 2 rounds. Weather forecast says it's not going to happen at all. Got your gals, got the lead.
Got up early the next morning and I was a buzz because we had a lot of rain before in the morning of that day one, and it was dry. Even though the forecast was of loads of rain and storms and everything else, it was dry.
Rome Country Club, another fun course, also decently hilly. So it's a good run. It's a good hard run. I thought it was not as demanding a golf course, but you could definitely get in trouble. There's creeks everywhere. It's tree lined, so you got to keep it in play.
Great weather that morning, cool, crisp, and I just had a fantastic round. Just started seeing the ball going exactly where I wanted to, and it was special. It was so much fun. But then after that, 6 hours later, I had to go back out there and do it again.
I drove it well in that second round. I kept it in front of me, got off to not the best start, but then I got it back. Started making birdies. At one point, I made 3 in a row.
Over to Gatchik now. Uphill birdie look at the par 5 7th. Oh my gosh, beautiful pace. He's got it. That's 2 in a row for Gatchik. Over the short par 4 8th. This is Gatchik Gao. He's driven it right next to the green, has himself an eagle chip. Nice soft touch there. Oh, that hit the lip. After this tap in, it's going to be birdie, birdie, birdie for Gatchik. The man is on fire at Rome Country Club.
And so I ended up shooting 1 under on the front in a pretty good time. But, in slow golf, you have more time to be thinking about your score, and especially when you go on a birdie run like that. In speed golf, it's a little different. You're not thinking about it necessarily as much. You don't have time. So I knew I was hot, because I was making birdies. But it's also kind of in the back of your mind. You're just moving on to the next hole, next shot. So I played well in that second round and put up a good number, and I ran decent.
So went out there, buzzed it round. After that round 2, I was only 1 behind Gadget, so I closed the gap, just a steady, sort of getting faster and score coming down.
Round 2, back to the friendly confines of Rome Country Club. Of course, I played a million times. I was still in the hunt after round 1, so I should be able to finish strong with 36 holes at home. Hit a great drive on the first hole, hit the cart path twice, and went in the stream. I can proudly say I've never had that happen before in my career at Rome Country Club, in my 40 years of playing golf here. Not a great time for it, too. So I labored to a bogey on 1, a couple more bogeys, hit in the water on 7, which I have done plenty of times, and just never quite got it going.
West Cup has found the fairway on the par 5 7th here. Looks like 3 wood in hand. This brings the water into play, also brings birdie into play. Good strike from Wes.
Not being told this is in the water. He's going to have to take a penalty drop. That stings.
Another 79 in round 2. Very disappointing. I think my speed golf stroke average in the New York State Speed Golf Open is around 72 or 73. So the 79 was not what the doctor ordered, and it proved to be kind of the round that got away.
Over to West Cup now. Birdie look at the par 5 9th. This is a downhill putt. Softly. Oh, now it's just a couple revolutions short. Taps it in for the par. He makes the turn at about 24 minutes.
Man, it was just amazing. The weather totally clear. There wasn't a drop of rain. And we're back out there at 2 o'clock again. So 54 holes in 22 hours, something that's never been done before.
I had some work to do, maybe a handful back of the lead, which, as we know, in regular golf can happen quickly. Speed golf, if you make a quick birdie and someone else makes a mess, those messes are always slow. It doesn't take much to get right back into it.
West Cup now at the par 5 11th, eyeing a birdie chance here. Down the hill, this goes right to left. Sits softly. Doesn't hate it. Oh, and it dropped in the backside. Birdie for Wes at 11. Huge momentum.
For round 3, I was feeling the fatigue more, right, from the 2 rounds. Golf-wise, my strategy was going to be very similar. Got off to a rough start again, but I brought it back with some birdies.
Back over to Gatchuk Gao at the par 5 9. He could have gone for this green. He had a huge drive, but he's laid up here to a nice short distance, maybe 50 yards. Looking to get it close. Would love to see a birdie here. Lands it about 20 feet short, rolling up. Oh, did that just hit the hole? It's like 6 inches from the cup. Tap in birdie on the night there for Gatchuk, and he is on pace about 23 and a half minutes for his first 9.
Finished the front 9 fine. I was right in it going into the back 9. Unfortunately, on the back 9, I hit a little bit of a wall. You know, the fatigue really set in, and I was really struggling to pick up the pace running wise.
Over to Gatchuk Gao here at the par 4 15th. Hit a nice drive here in the right rough. Boy, this is a slow setup. I think he is really feeling the pain these 3 rounds in 22 hours.
And man, I think the last 9 holes, he kind of gassed out there. You know, none of us had ever done 54 holes, and it's understandable that you'd be tired going into the final rounds.
I actually played pretty well. I made a messy, unfortunate double on 17 that probably ended my bid, but I did birdie 18 to kind of make that Gatorade taste just a little bit better with my 73 in round 3. It's a good score, considering we're all tired.
Luke Willett here on the par 5 9th, birdie chance up the hill. He's on this green in just 19 minutes, so he's gaining ground. But boy, he could use this par save right here down the hill. Oh, great roll with the wedge there, par on 9 for Luke Willett.
I did my thing. I just stay patient, and I'm becoming very consistent. My times are very consistent. I put a lot of training in, and as same with my golf, and the golf is very consistent as well.
Luke Willett arriving at the 18th green, mostly machine. I have to assume he's here in just 41 minutes in his 3rd round in 22 hours. Incredible cardio on this cat. Birdie putt, just misses on the low side. He's going to tap this in for par, and that is Luke Willett, your 2024 U.S. Open Speedgolf champion.
We have back-to-back par 3s here at Rome, which is quite odd. The 2nd and 3rd holes, neither are easy. 2 is the smallest green mankind's ever created. If he went 2-2 there, well, that's where he won the tournament. So well done, Luke. That is pretty impressive. He played great, so hats off to Luke for, one, coming over across the pond. I know it's a lot of effort. I'm proud of him for playing so well and getting a W and taking it back over to England. I'm sure I'll be over there chasing him down, see if I can break his serve, I guess, next time.
Of course, Luke, great positivity, great ability to go all in, Maroot! And once you have those attributes, I think all the other details will find their own way. Yes!
I gave myself a good chance to win the event. I was in it. I played the golf I needed to play. It just ultimately came down to my run time needed to be a little bit faster at 3rd round. There are some specific things that I need to work on before World Championships in Tokyo in November. US Open was amazing. It was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to World Championships.
I really, really enjoyed it. It was a little difficult, but sometimes that's just the way golf is in general anyway.
This is our 3rd international champion in a row, so we definitely want to work on that here in the USA to make sure we put a Team USA member back on that trophy. I'd love for it to be me next year.
Anybody that's run a speed golf tournament or has been a part of one knows it's a lot of work. It's a lot of moving parts to put one of these on. We're really fortunate. We just had so much support from our whole community, from sponsorships to volunteers to the media that came together to really help this event be great.
Hats off to Luke Willett, the British champ, and now the US champ. One cool thing, Jan Nandasis, designed by Walter Travis. He apparently was the British amateur champ and the US amateur champ. So I find it very fitting that our US Speed Golf Open champ at Jan Nandasis was also the British Speed Golf champ. Just an awesome dude. and he's got the speed, he's got the golf, and he's just a fantastic champion.
It was quite amazing, really. 54 holes in, 22 hours or so. Doesn't sound like a crazy feat. People regularly play 72 holes in a day. But when you're sprinting around a golf course in incredible heat, that's pretty good going up and down the hills in a competitive mindset. I've had 2 experiences in the US this year. Somehow won both of them. Really, it's just a privilege and a gift. So you've had these opportunities to go over to the US or anywhere really, speed golfing, and to do what you are passionate about and you love is the gift. That's what I felt I did in the US Open. Had a truly once in a lifetime experience, and I'm just grateful.
What's up, Speed Golf family? 2 quick things before you head to your next video. First, Speed Golf Baby just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much for supporting this weird little side project. I know there are a lot of you I haven't met yet, and looking forward to meeting many of you in Japan in November at the World Championships. Number 2, what do you want to see more of from Speed Golf Baby? Actually, here's a better question. What's a video we could publish, or what's a change we could make that would make you even more excited to see a Speed Golf Baby video in your feed? I'm super curious. If you have any ideas, please leave a comment below if you have time. And no matter what, Speed Golf Baby, let's go. All right, Speed Golf family, we've got to hit the road. Thanks, as always, to producer Nico, who puts the finishing touches on these episodes. We hope you're feeling tired but satisfied after today's effort, that you're fired up about Speed Golf 2, and that you'll join us next time. So don't forget to subscribe to Speed Golf Baby on YouTube, and until next time, keep it in the short grass. Bye.